KCC311 second and last video for week number 4's assignment. I was talking about creating groups for quantitative data. I was talking about making coding charts in the last video. I was talking about using the VLOOKUP formula. My computer's a little slow. There it is, VLOOKUP. That's an important first step to the assignment, but the last step, and let me walk through the process one last time. After you make a coding chart, and please do not copy my coding chart. I'm just typing random stuff, downtown, airport, north, south, east, west, all this sort of thing. Once you create a coding chart, once you go over to your big data and set equals, why is it doing this? It takes a second here. There it goes. VLOOKUP. I click it. Remember the steps. You have to click the big data you're trying to measure first, comma. You have to click your coding chart, comma. Type the number 2. Comma, type the word false, and it will say, hey, 24 is in the airport region. By the way, it's not really, like I said, I'm just making this stuff up. And then you can click this fill handle, and you can pull it down. And you can see it tells you all the different regions for your data. It gives you some NAs because some are not listed. We got to deal with that. Sometimes data is not perfect. This is a good first step for grouping the data, and then applying it to a big data set. However, that's not what the week number 4 assignment is asking. The week number 4 assignment says take all of this and create a graph. You've made a good grouping, you've made a good formula, you haven't made a graph yet. So in order to make a graph, guess what we have to do? We have to go back to that count if stuff. So this spreadsheet is really full. I'm actually going to have to clear something here. So let me just take these trip miles and just delete all that information. And what do I need to do now? Now I need to type all the regions I said. I had a north region, I had a south region, I had a lake region, I had an airport region, I had a southwest region. So the last part of the week 4 assignment, this is going to be called a frequency table. And in your frequency table, and like before, I like to give it some nice colors, just kind of highlight it here. I'm feeling green, great. Frequency table. I need to list all the regions, all the groups that I made way over here. And then I need to use the count if formula, just like we did in weeks number 2, week number 3. So equals, not VLOOKUP this time, it's count if. So you see that this week number 4, we're going to combine 2 different ideas. What am I counting? I'm counting my big data here, comma, and I'm looking for which one is, how many are, say, north. And it does some math and it says 0. It says you don't have anybody in the north region. Okay. Equals, what about the south region? I type count if, and there it is. I click my big data, comma, I click south. How many of my data in the south? I have 1 taxi ride from the south. Okay, equals. And by the way, remember, the data I'm doing right here is completely fake. I made up a fake coding chart. Equals count if, I click my big data, comma, and I click the region, the lake in this case. And it says, hey, there's 1. Oh, guess what? What's the shortcut? You can click here and pull right down. And it says, hey, 11 people were at the airport, 6 were in the southwest, 1 at the lake, 1 at the... Okay. That is what I'm looking for, the final project for week number 4. So and once again, like before, I can highlight this, insert, I go to chart, and it takes a second, but there we go. It says, hey, most of my taxi rides are from the airport. A couple from south, a couple from the southwest. So putting this together with the coding chart, there's a lot in week number 4. You have to make a coding chart. You have to use this VLOOKUP formula. Then you have to go and make a frequency table and use the count if formula. And then you have to put it together in a graph. There's a lot. And if you feel a little overwhelmed, it's only natural right now. There's a lot of stuff on the plate here. Break it down step by step. And please use me as a resource. Whether it's sending me an email, please, my phone number's listed. You're more than welcome to reach me. And then later in the week, hopefully, knock on wood, I'm going to try and arrange an online tutoring just so that anybody can, a virtual tutoring session if there's any more questions. All right, breaking it all down. Coding chart, you're going to group the data. VLOOKUP, you're going to group the big data set using that formula. Frequency table, where you can use count if, say how many in each group, and then a graph. And then this graph is what you can save and then put into a graphic like you did in week 2 or 3, where you come over here to Google Drawings. Click this little drawing thing, upload from my computer. There's my chart right there. And I'm ready to go. taxi cab chart. I think you can be a little more original than my title, but you get the idea. This is what I'm looking for week number 3. Week number 4. You're going to do some work on the big data. You're going to create for me a basic graphic, upload that to Blackboard, both the data and the graphic, and that's what I'll be looking for by the end of the week. Lots of questions, only natural, email, and hopefully we can set those straight.